look, Hollywood preaches a big game: diversity, diversity, diversity. Asians aren't included in that conversation. Diversity in Hollywood is one race. It's black. That's it. Watch commercials. Black guy, white guy. Watch TV shows. You got a black cast member. Asians are so far on the peripheral, they don't exist, even as much so that we have a film right now that is the best film ever about stand-up comedy. And it happens to star an Asian American. It happens to have been written by an Asian American and directed by one. And it happens to have an Asian American co-star in Ken Jeong. And we can't get on one late night talk show. And they all preach a big game: diversity, progressive values. But when push comes to shove, and there's so few films coming out right now, they wouldn't give us the outlet. It's like, look, I'll work twice as hard to try to get that next opportunity. But when is it, like, when are you guys going to open the door and let us in? This is ridiculous.
Well, that is frustrating. I had no idea because I was thinking the opening act would have open doors. It's such a good film, no matter what color it represents.
Exactly, yeah.
So are you saying, just from all you said 23 years of doing this plus,
Yeah.
are you saying that sometimes quality really is not part of the burrito as far as just marketing wise? I just had no
I
idea.
don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. I'm really clueless. I thought, when you have a TBS summer sitcom, it's like, I get it. The industry is all about this single cam experience, and the single cam shows get all the Emmys. They get all the awards. Multicam is thought of as kind of like, content for flyover country, which I think is ridiculous. A sitcom is a really difficult thing to do, especially in front of a live audience, which we did, because here's the difference between a multicam and a single cam. Single cam, you film it, 30 Rock, Parks and Rec. I think we got it. Multicam, they say the line, oh, we got it. They laughed. It worked. So there is always this variable of not knowing with a single cam. But for some reason or another, ever since Ricky Gervais's The Office, that's become the go-to format for, quote unquote, a sitcom. It's frowned upon. I thought maybe because I'm tethered to it and tethered to the fact that it was on TBS at the time of the Tyler Perry moment. I don't know if that had a stigma on me, but I didn't work since then. And even with this film, I thought, now I'm going to prove I'm wrong. Now I'll do something that's undeniable. And I really believe I did. And even in this moment, it's like, you hear these conversations about diversity. I mean, you got John Leguizamo boycotting the Emmys because there were not enough Latinos being represented. It's like, yeah, look at the demographics. There are more Latinos in this country than African Americans, and it's not a contest, right?
Yeah.
But there's scant representation amongst Latinos in the entertainment industry. It's next to nothing in the Asian Americans, but I think for some reason or other, Black culture has a bigger platform and a much bigger voice. And so, the squeaky wheel gets greased, right? That's what happens. I think to me, it's really just unsettling, and it's really disheartening. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. People are going to see it. That's all that matters. And people are going to love it and spread the word. And that ultimately is all that matters. It's not about ego.
Well, about spreading the word and not giving too much of a spoiler alert on the opening act, I really loved at how, in a sense, this is a very universal type of film. It's not just a coming of age movie about a youngster learning from a vet. Can you just talk about the evergreen theme about, no matter what, it's really about finding your voice, no matter what stage you are in your life. And I thought that that's something that really translates no matter what type of viewer watches the opening act.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Actually, I think you should be writing screenplays, because that was a great way of relaying it. It really is coming of age, but it certainly is. Everybody dreams of doing something, right? Everybody's stuck in an office. Everybody's stuck, digging ditches or whatever it might be. And you have that dream. And the dream is, if you gotta go for it. If you don't, you'll regret it the rest of your life. And that was kind of the theme of the film. And certainly once you take the plunge and are like, all right, I'm all in on this, you got to find your voice. That's the difference. And, all those things Cedric said are all the conversations I've had with myself over the last few years in terms of, why am I not invited to the dance? Why, are these things not clicking necessarily? And so it really stems down to, what is your voice? How do you write for yourself? What are the projects you're going to create? And Will tries to take those lessons learned and implement them over the course of 4 days. he's learning very quickly. It takes a long time. Comedy's a marathon. This business is a marathon. So that's really what it's about. And I'm still learning myself at my age, even though I did my first film. It's like, yeah, I learned it immensely, but I'll learn on the next one even that much more.